Welcome to the show. This is episode 2 of season 2 of Mondo FunnyBooks. Being as it is a reading of a column by Mr. David Sim for Hero Illustrated issue number 9. Done in a pastiche of the late author William Burroughs of Junkie and Naked Lunch, and others, of course. Why not why? Consider it a last call to a fictional penguin whose noise I'll probably never hear again. But if I don't and you see this, thanks for the share of the bear. And please note the movement above, adopted in your honor, Your Honor. And so, to the main event. The reading of Mr. Sim's column for Hero Illustrated number 9. The second, please, is one that avails oneself of optical acquirements. Sadly, the original periodical is not at hand, so one is forced to resort to the screen grab. One hopes the audience is forgiving of the fact.
I'm watching this with Sweet. I don't like it. What? Just get where you are, Roger. You got your mountains, your skiing resorts, your charming.
The final word. Well, I had to laugh, didn't I? Having read Marvel's solicitation for Spider-Man whatchamacallit number mumble-ty-mumble, in which Spider-Man reveals his true identity to the world. For real would we lie to you? And having just found out it was a guy in a Spider-Man costume, and the retailers are once more up in arms over another dirty mainstream trick. The mental image of Wayne and Garth with open palms on either side of their mouth leaps to mind. I mean, come on, what if Mort Weisinger were alive in the 1990s? Could you imagine the solicitations? Gee Bubba, says here Superman gets turned into a giant turtle and it's for real. Get out of Dodge. Now, says right here, we better order another case and a half. When he's still a giant turtle 20 years from now, it'll be worth a fortune. Every month I read the solicitations in Advance Comics and previews. Every month I think to myself, I think, this month the retailers and the fans are finally going to get the joke. I read of another epic storyline that is going to change the shape of whomever for years to come. I read about another death, another marriage, another epic confrontation with Destructo or Megavoid or Hellstain or Evil Kill, and I think no one is this gullible. Nobody could possibly think that any amount of mental effort went into coming up with this rhetorical trap. And every month I'm proven wrong. It's a joke, you know, like Marvel Comics paid Rob Liefeld $10,000 for a list of 50 nouns that they could turn into characters. And right now, many someones, of reading this and thinking, wow, 10 grand, I wonder what those nouns were. It's a joke. I talked to a retailer sometime in my travels in the last year. Nice guy, like most retailers. He confronts a handful of questions day after day. You could do a David Letterman top 10 list. 10 stupid questions retailers have to answer on a daily basis. If Batman and Wolverine had a fight, who would win? Fill in any 2 characters from the last one, or even creators from what I understand of the state of the bubbledom. The Hulk and Rob Liefeld, Stimpy and Matt Groening. How much could this comic be worth? Store owners and people who work in stores take over where Mom and Dad left off. They are absolute and irrefutable authorities in the life of the young comic book bubba. I used to tell the store owners to tell them $1,000 in 45 years, no less. Since comic book bubba has the attention span of a fruit fly, this guarantees a sure sale at a very low risk. Oops, for all you comic book bubbas reading this, that was a joke as well. I do not tell store owners that. Anyway, this retailer noticed that the 3rd most popular question was, can you tell me what's going on in X-Men? This question recurred so frequently that the retailer, being a cagey sort of fellow, thought there might be a genuine market for a publication called What's Going On in X-Men? An up-to-the-minute synopsis, guide to characters, plotline, flowchart, the whole 9 yards. A lot of comic book bubbas are eagerly scanning the ensuing paragraphs to see if there is an address and an ordering information. Please, sir, wait for the punchline. He got all of the X-Men back issues out. Right back to 94, he got a pad of paper and he sat down after hours and hours and made notes. He couldn't do it. And that's the punchline. Now do you get it? It made no sense, none of it. Oh, the Claremont issues did in a while. But once Claremont was cooked off the book, any pretense of coherence went out the window, sir. Not one can tell you what's going on in X-Men. Not Claremont, not Bob Harris, not Tom DeFalco. It is a joke. The X-Men consists of different groups of different characters who clench their teeth, wear various kinds of armor, and shoot various kinds of energy out of various appendages. They fight each other. Why? Who wins? Who knows? No one knows. Where did they come from? Nobody knows. Not the writer, not the editor, not the publisher, not the reader. It's not just the X-Men, neither is it Marvel Comics. It's not just the superheroes. Did you read Children's Crusade? I tried. I read the first one by Neil Gaiman. Wonderful. My back teeth ached to write the next one. I wondered what happened next, and I got the next 2 parts. I read the first few pages of the second one 3 or 4 times, and I started smiling. They got me. Ha ha! It's a joke. I get it. I'll wait for Neil's end bit now, but they did it. They really got me with a whole continued in the next 3 annuals gag. Get it? Or the new universe last year, that was a side splitter. Our universe is going to be coherent, and everything there for a reason. 20 years from now, we'll still be publishing the same 6 titles. They'll still be written and penciled and inked by the same creative teams. Everything will be coordinated and woven into a seamless and exhilarating comic book experience. Guys would be telling me this behind tables at trade shows and conventions, and I'd start smiling and snickering to myself, asking, okay, what's the punchline, Bubba? And then they'd look all offended. No, it's true. 20 years from now, all the titles would be at issue 120, and I'd crack up. I really would. And they'd walk away and I'd think, hey, you didn't finish the joke. Sure enough, a catalog would come in 6 months later. Guess what? The writer quit after issue 1. Beautiful. What timing, what a build-up. Groucho would be proud. I get it, I get it. You want to join in the fun, son? Tell you what. The next time you get your hands on one of these here catalogs, read it out loud. Seriously, just use your best Jerry Seinfeld delivery. Just go through the Spider-Man listings. In between each listing, look up and say, and then, do you know what happened to the poor slob? Do you? Well, the very next morning, and then read the next listing. And after that, now, a morning like that is going to take a lot out of a guy, as I'm sure you'll agree. So he heads down to the deli for a nice roast beef sandwich with mayo. I mean, come on, the guy has to haul his own body weight around on gummy stuff that shoots out of his wrists. And what do you suppose happens to him next? Go on. Someday, I hope some of you get the joke. Someday you'll be reading the catalogs and you'll know. You'll know. Start to smile a little bit. Trust me, then you'll be on the floor. You won't be able to stop. Tears will be streaming from your eyes. Corporate company controlled comics. Do you get it? As I said, that was David Sim, author of Cerebus as well as artist. Also Glamourpuss, The Strange Death of Alex Raymond, and of course The Beavers. This has been Mondo FunnyBooks, a love letter to a missing penguin. I hope you're well, wherever you are. And remember, be good, and if you can't be good, don't get